What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 46 of my Total Warhammer 3 Drycha Immortal Empires campaign. As we saw last time, Daertok's winged wrath set down upon Marienburg, taking out the famed port city and razing it for some cash. We are still only 10 turns away from bankruptcy at all times, so we do have to be careful there, but hopefully we'll return this to where it needs to be soon. And just gotta get rid of a couple of our temporary armies that frankly aren't doing too much for us, but are needed in order to prevent the enemy from taking territories that we have gained. Obviously, we will be trading a bunch of these territories away to our allies, but until we do, we must make sure that we keep hold of them. Alrighty. I'm really hoping that we don't have to deal with the slaves of Tsar soon, because they they're quite numerous out here. Although, if we do, maybe we can do so with Imric's help. Just really need to send an army out here to deal with the Darklands orcs, and then join up essentially with Dulcet the Wild as he loops around. Though of course he might actually have to deal with the Heralds of the Tempest, and a duel with Kolek might be in order as well. Anyway, in terms of what we got to do this episode, Drycha, you're going to start off by, I guess, attacking these armies. I do wonder whether we'd be able to auto-resolve this or not. Attack this right here, I think. Wait. Would you be in range of any one of them? No, alright. What do we have left here, by the way? Not much. Not much. I'm willing to bet that the auto-resolve will think that this is going to take more effort than it really will. And Pyrrhic victory, you say? I wonder how long it would take us to heal up off of this, because we've already defeated these armies effectively twice. We defeated Malekith's force and these guys afterwards, so I am kind of tempted to auto-resolve them. Let's hope that we can heal up to full. There's really no need. Let's go with healing, I guess, instead of the money, as odd as that may seem, considering we need money, and we are in friendly territory, and yeah, we'll heal up. We'll heal up, it's fine. What we also want to do, enemy killed in battle, yada yada yada, is, let's see, we could try to grab Ice Rock Gorge for not so much ourselves, but to give it to our allies. I think we want to head to the Plain of Dogs either way. Scarpel's Lair, I take it this is also owned by these guys? We basically want to burn out everything that's around the Witchwood. I don't really care whether we make them into ruins or not, though. Yeah, you know what? Let's move to the edge of this territory. Let's move towards the Plain of Dogs. We'll burn it out. Hopefully these guys can occupy the Ice Rock Gorge without our interference. But if they don't, we'll raise a temporary army here and go around occupying and then transferring. Even at the crazy cost that we currently have. We could always have Elendilling do it, for example. In fact, it might be better to have Elendilling do it anyway. Mostly so that Drycha doesn't have to deal with this, although the sack value on a few of these things is so low, or the raise value rather, is so low it might still not be worth it. You know what, let's raise Elendilling specifically for this purpose. Again, this is the second time we've been using him for this. Ugh, look at that, 24k per turn. We just gotta make sure we keep raising. Alrighty, now, who else still needs to move? Drycha, you did your thing. Akatala. Oh, I guess we do have to make the decision on whether we want to bother attacking Orion or not. Honestly, I was originally thinking that we kill him because it's an easy time and he has a bunch of ports that have trade goods. On the other hand, he can't actually take any advantage of those because, well, they're ports, and thus he can't build the trade goods buildings. But maybe we just leave him here. Maybe we don't care about him enough to actually bother with him. And the thing is, if we, for example, take Gobali and trade it to him, and then maybe Nuka or Nuja as well, and then he might like us and just do his own thing around. He'll probably eventually get into a fight with the clan Angren Dwarfs, but so will we, and frankly, maybe we'll need some help out here. Not so much help to defeat them, but rather so that we don't have to be the ones dealing with all this. And it's not like these extra territories are going to give us all that much. Nah, you know what, let's just leave him alone. We've already taken Athel Loren. He has to work his way into our good graces. Though I'm, well, he's not gonna, but, you know. Let's upgrade you, and then we'll get that port up and running, and then we'll trade it to Orion. Also, I wasn't going to do this, but, so we have the ability to make you, Eatane, join our war against basically everybody on the map. For whatever reason, this is somewhat broken. Like so. I wasn't originally gonna do this, but you know what? Maybe we just weaken Eatane in this manner. Doesn't really matter whether we do this or not. Granted, they're doing okay in their current fights, but this will weaken them enough to get our military alliance earlier. We're already increasing our relationship with them, and we will already get the military alliance going with them without even needing to do this. So I think it's kind of irrelevant, especially since we're already military allies with Avalorn and Tiranoc and Yvresse. But I kind of like the idea of us essentially Insidious glamoring him and forcing him to declare all these completely unnecessary wars. The concept tickles me. Although maybe we want to stay away from having them declare war on anybody that's like too close to him. Namely, let's see, we do want him to keep fighting out here. Who could he sail over to annoy? Actually, everybody here is pretty much really far away from him anyway. Nah, you know what? I think that's fine. Let's do this. Screw it. Screw it. There we go. And while he's not yet willing to join us, he's gonna get a lot of positive relationship, and soon we'll go for that military alliance. And just like his allies. Not that he wouldn't have in the first place, mind you, but at this point, I don't think he's any kind of threat to us or to the campaign. Anyway, Delsith, Akka, let's see, Stressleth, are we ready to go next turn? Perhaps we are, as long as there are no buildings to build. Let's find another place to siege and sack. And maybe a few armies on the way as well. Actually, Delsith the Wild, weren't you in range of another little... Yeah, but it's basically not really an army. You're still going to proceed to Kirik Varag. Alright, fair enough. And Firemouth we should probably transfer over even with the bundle of wood there. Or furs, rather. We are getting 9k out of trade, though. It's not so bad. I mean, I guess there is a reason that we kept the territories around this place. So the spices out of here, the spices out of here. Because we're making tons of spices. Makes sense, I guess. We did give away pig barter, though. Alright, I mean, I think this is fine. Let's skip the rest of this, let's end the turn, and let's see what these dwarfs do. Will they retake Mount Squighorn? Will they go for the high place? Let's hope that they do. Really depends on if Akka's ambush gets foiled. It's really been irritating having Akka having to jump around here, because he really wants to go for that Forest of Gloom, but he been busy. Alright, Clan Rictus, Clan Molder, kind of irrelevant right now. Well, I guess actually Molder is nearby. Ah, yes, alright. Close victory. It's obviously not actually going to be a close victory. I'm going to hope that that Akka's force doesn't get damaged so heavily that it loses units, because it will suffer attrition. No, okay, we're fine. And we will take... What's your magical reserve? Ah, we can't tell. Oh, we can't use magical reserve anyway, so we're gonna just release the captives for money. Good. With this force dead, this means that A, we no longer need the temporary army. Well, at least we don't really need a temporary army. But we can go to the Pillars of Grugni, and then we can advance upon Karazakarak, and then a new tree. Feels like it's been too long since we acquired a new tree. Well, I mean, actually it hasn't, because we acquired the Witchwood recently, but nonetheless. As Leptathios is ready for duty, I don't remember who you are. Kislev receives plague, I don't care about Kislev. Who do we have here? So you have Annoyance of Netlings, and you are a Shadow Lord. We have been wanting a Shadow Lord specifically to deal with one of our armies. With the Loek army. And the question is, do we need to do so right now? Are you able to go... you are able to go very, very close to the Pillars of Grugni. In March stance, mind you, but I think that's fine. You can go close to the Pillars of Grugni. We're gonna have Arden jump down and take care of Drawn. Maybe raise it, in fact. And before it gets that guard hall up and running, in fact. Can you raise any more troops here? You can recruit some bats. Alright, get some bats. And then you're gonna jump down here. And you're gonna take care of Drawn. Ooh, Thorgrim is nearby. I didn't think that he'd still have a full stack. Interesting. Nonetheless, you're gonna do your thing, and if Thorgrim comes here, perhaps we will have Akka move down. Though Akka does need to heal up a little bit.
Not likely.
Yeah, that auto-resolve hurts. I gotta be careful with auto-resolving Akka's army in particular. Does Karazkarak stand any kind of chance? Actually, against Akka's army. And this could be an interesting fight, and may actually be somewhat difficult. Because Akka isn't really made for siege battles. It'll have to be mostly him doing the work, which is kind of an interesting concept. But anyway, Drycha, let's have you move. You can take Isra Gorge, or you can just jump over all this and go to the Plain of Dogs. Granted, you won't be able to heal, but frankly, I don't think you're really scared of anything, so you don't really care. Let's jump you up here. Nobody at the Plain of Dogs either. Elendilling, you're gonna jump down here. You're gonna grab Isra Gorge. I guess you can't move here manually. Like so. Hopefully Armandus here doesn't take it, because, well, we want Avalorn to take it, because they're taking all the territory here, and may as well hold it all together at the same time. Anyway, we gotta find a battle. Akka's Gudetala. You are still in a plagued-up area, and you have that damn plague, and your units are suffering attrition, which means you probably couldn't or shouldn't leave. Let's just get the Waystone, and let's just sit here for now. Until that plague is gone, and then as soon as it is, we'll get the heck out. Prague and Kislev both have those Skaven plagues, but once again, there's a little we can do about it. Kieran. You could try to go to Yechich or Navkazi. The only problem there is we don't know where the Skaven armies are. If we did, I'd just go to that one. Also, we should probably give that Trickster's Helm to somebody who needs it more. Alright, I guess we just do a 50-50. Wait, you know what we can do? We can check how many territories Clan Ferric currently holds. They currently hold 5. Okay, so that means they are here, here, and probably in Carrick Doom as well. Wait, they're holding Tribe Slaughter. There's 100% Skaven corruption there. And 100% Skaven corruption there. Oh, some of these are Clan Molder then. Alright. That changes nothing. You go to Yechich. And, oh, they're at Frozen Landing as well. There's nothing here, but it is a Pyrrhic victory, and I think we're gonna have to fight this manually. We are kind of in a situation. And, oh, Throg is nearby as well. Yeah, let's not risk this guy getting so damaged that he can't go on. We'll do this in a second, but frankly it doesn't seem like a difficult battle, so I'd rather try to find a more difficult one. Durthu. You can advance upon Lyonesse. Ah, there's a full stack there. There we go. And it's Heinrich Kemmler. Lovely. I forget, do you have Lich Slayer? Lich Killer, rather? Yeah, you do. Alright, so you're still going to Lyonesse, and I think this will be the battle for this episode, unless we can find another one. We'll still take a look around, mostly because, well, nobody really stands a chance against Durthu's ridiculous army. I love it, though. Alrighty, Musia, you can get your port and get us a little bit of cash. We, I guess, can collect the income there. And, oh. I guess we'll have some buildings to build as well, but let's keep doing our non-building stuff. We'll return to the building stuff later. Okay. Kolis, Bilbali. Let's advance you to Nuka. Anyway, this will not count as trespass. Alright, go here. We will have you go for Elven Haven. And we'll just transfer Bilbali over. Trade, Bilbali. You can have it. Oh, it's actually worth a lot more than I thought it would be, damn. We'll go non-aggression you won't do the trade agreement? Ah, come on, Orion, you little... Alright, well, non-aggression pact it is. I actually would have preferred the military access, but we clearly can't do that. He's going to give us a little bit of cash. Can we get him to join our wars? That would be great. Nagaron, you are willing. Who's nearby that he can fight? Golden Order are nearby. Who does he not like as well? Grimwarzard boys, the Bear Legion might be free. Yeah, it's free because they're basically dead. Clan Ferric, basically free. Kazag, free. Slaves of Tsar, not free. Well, free, but not free. Fecondites, fine. Ecstatic Legions, perfect. Alright, and this is working. Ah, there we go. Puppets of Misrule, that's a no. Heralds of the Tempest, that's a no. Wintertooth, big no. Actually, not as big a no as the others. He's willing to fight Reichland as well. Clan Mulder. That's a yes. What about Clan Rictus? That's a yes. This is kind of dumb, I know, but I do feel like it is necessary. Karazakarek? Nah, screw it, why not Karazakarek? Cult of Pleasure. Sure. Nagarond? Ah, not Nagarond. How much would we need to pay you for this? 4K. I'm not giving you 4K for that. Not like we actually need him to fight Nagarond. And do this, and still give us money instead. Yes. All for Bilbali. And the garbage little port there. Alright. And then next turn, we'll try to do the same with Nuka or Nuja, depending on whether you can actually reach it. And then we'll trade it back to you. And then do the same with Tobaro as well. Alright. And then we'll be on the border with the dwarfs, and we'll have to decide whether we attack them or not. Frankly, I don't care all that much, but you're kind of far away from the deep root, so you have to be doing something to justify your army's cost. Anyway, let's get back to it. Dare talk. You... Ah, you have a battle as well. Ooh, do we get another Air Force battle? See, the thing is, I feel like maybe we spread this out, because last episode was an Air Force battle. So maybe we do Durthu this episode. And go for Aelhart next time. I also gotta probably prevent Boris from taking Helmgard. Really, we need to have somebody take these. If we can have Durthu take Castle Artois and Gisoro, we can transfer Fort Berg-Bray to Kurun, so he can hold that. Mostly because we can't use these. I don't know how we'll be able to hold Helmgard, at least until Vlad is here. Also, Marius is probably going to declare war on us to retake Dotternbach, but I'm not sure that we care all that much. Anyway. Let's continue. We also got to give more territories to Vlad. Akka, temporary Akka, are you still here? Do you need to actually do anything, or can we finally get rid of you? I guess we could move you to Castle Artois and have you take Marienburg. In theory. Not really needed.
I will go.
Go for this while you're at it, though. Just in case we get something good. Sunken Chest, we get wax-sealed rations. Good for this army, but otherwise, meh. Alrighty, well, I guess you're not needed. Let's delete... You know what, I think we just delete the entire army. She's gonna take a while to get up here. It's actually faster to just generate a random lord. Especially one that we've already gotten, like Zoltathios. And have him grab Marienburg for us instead. Yeah, you know what? That's better. Alright, you, out. Alrighty, now we're back to 19k. And I guess we will march this Akka south, but we do need to figure out what to do with you, and figure out what your last points are going to be. The other Glade Captain, I suppose, is going to go into this armor, but you know what, let's figure this out later. I want to fight now. Durthu, Tilianes, do we need to apply your points? I mean, it does look like a pretty nice garrison there. They got Blood Knights, they got all sorts of things, so maybe we do need to apply the points. Alrighty, you. Get another point in... Well, we do want to get Tempered Rigor. It's a pretty good upgrade for basically any one of these. Alright. Though I'm still thinking about replacing you. And Deluric, you are nowhere near Tempered Rigor, I think, because you're still going through spells. You get yourself magical reserves, and you can get... Ooh, I just realized. Did I screw up? Yeah, I screwed that up. We need you to now have replenished troops maxed out. Well then, especially I guess if we get rid of Deluric, you're gonna need this maxed out anyway, so, yeah. Oh well, not a big deal. The magical reserves isn't gonna change anything here anyway. And Durthu, last but not least. Ooh, you get a point in Mentor. Yes, we're definitely gonna do that. Though I forgot whether I calculated whether it was super beneficial. Ancient Bark buffs your Treeman and Shriekin. They are starting to get up there in levels, so we probably do want to get the higher levels here. There's also Tempered Rigor for Durthu. Make him a deadlier fighter, and I guess we can get Awaken the Woods. It doesn't really do much for us, but it bothers me that this is the end of the chain and we don't have it, you know? Alrighty, and then lastly, since you're not getting anybody else, it doesn't really matter which one of these we pick. But you know what does matter? We need the second point in Pan's Impenetrable Pelt because we have bonuses to it. So that, I guess, decides where we spend the points. Alrighty, and then we go for... we could still go for Quartermaster and his army, because clearly what we need is even cheaper tree men. But not right now. Let's do this cinematically. Gotta be careful about losing our treekin. There's a Mortis engine to contend with, a Terrorgeist, a Vargulf, a couple of Blood Knights, so we'll certainly have to work for it. Alrighty, here we go. Durthu's Unstoppable Tree Stack. We do not fear this army, but I am still pretty darn excited for this battle because this is about as elite a stack as we can hope to run into. It's very similar to what a player would build. The enemy has the best of the best in this army. Blood Knights and Crypt Horrors aplenty. They've got the Mortis Engine and a Corpse Guard Kemmler himself, a Terrorgeist, a Vargulf, and some Graveguard with great weapons, as well as Kemmler leading them, of course. So, yeah. I'm excited to see how much of a dent they can put into our armies. Plus, Kemmler has 2 vampires serving him, as odd as that may seem. Although their stats aren't really comparable to a tree man or to Durthu's, mind you, whose stats are pretty darn disgusting. Actually, Durthu's base stats without upgrades are at 115 melee attack and 641 weapon strength. His weapon strength is actually a little bit low. All things considered, should probably be a little bit higher. But yeah, look at all those buffs from all of the auras on him. Damn. We got 20% flame resistance, the weapon damage from the Banner of Eternal Flame, Howl of the Forest State melee attack, a Respondence of Luminescence, weapon damage and melee attack, another Call of the Woods, the other level of it, Frenzy, and let's see, Greater Arcane Conduit to hand, then Possessed by the Trickster God as well as Evasion. So another 10 melee defense, another 5. Very nice. And once again, without buffs, so we could buff him pretty considerably. But we don't really need to, and for now, it's Blood Knights versus Malevolent Treemen. And of course the Mortis Engine here. Unfortunately for the Mortis Engine, our units hit pretty darn hard, and they are single entities, so they're not nearly as afraid of it, and they should be able to bring it down reasonably quick, even with all the Blood Knight, Crypt Horror, and Vargulf support here. But still, I'm always appreciative of seeing these elite armies duke it out. I do wonder how Drycha would have fared against this army. Probably still well. I mean, I think at this point we can't go underestimating Drycha's army, and just because it has a bunch of Dryads. Alrighty, it looks like the enemy Blood Knights have been basically wiped out. We're popping a Dwellers Below on the pile over on this side, which encompasses their second unit of Blood Knights, plus a decent amount of zombies and other such chap. The Blood Knights and the Crypt Horrors are also fighting our Firebark Elders in a nice little battle line, and I do appreciate how the Firebark Elders, with all their glowy effects, do light up the battlefield a little bit, making it easier for us to see. I also want to point out that we haven't actually... Oh, the Mortis Engine is done for. And is that Krell? Yeah, Krell's in there as well, and he's also nearly done for, being attacked by Malevolent Trees. What I was going to point out was... Oh, Krell is dueling one of the branch wraiths down here. I couldn't even see the branch wraith because the size of the other units clashing. We haven't actually brought all of our units into the battle here, because with the ones that are down to 10 units, we've kept back and hidden in the forest. A, we don't really need them, so far at least, and B, I'd rather only use the units that are not damaged, as we may suffer attrition. Well, I guess not attrition, but we may get damaged, and I would like to be able to heal to full shortly after. Looks like the second set of Blood Knights is nearly down. All that extra armor piercing on both the tree men and the treekin really helping out. Krell has fallen. One of the vampires surrounded and about to fall as well. And it looks like Kemmler is not going to move in to help. Down go the last of the Crypt Horrors, and the gate, by the looks of it, is ours. We do not need to, well, I guess we don't really care about clearing the walls, so we're not actually going to bother. The 2 branch wraiths decided to move up here, but we'll just move them off in a second as we move deeper into the enemy territory. Or city, rather. Alright, trying to move around. I did order our units to go after this Vampire of Death here, and then she pops out from behind the wall instead, so we're gonna separate our forces a little bit. Gotta get rid of those vampires so that they stop casting. And the possibility of getting Spirit Leeches on our Treekin is potentially dangerous. Obviously we can heal the Tree Men, but if a Spirit Leech kills one of the Treekin models, that ain't so great. Alrighty, but I don't imagine that that vamp will stand for long. And Durthu's Death Star is just as effective as a vampire Death Star, especially with all the Earth's Bloods coming down, so we're not so worried about getting surrounded or anything like that. Alright. Can't really see what's going on in there, but at least there's some Graveguard over here for Durthu to smack around. I really feel like Durthu should hit a little bit harder, though, just base once again. 641 seems low. I wonder what Kolek's base hit is. I gotta check. I've definitely seen Kolek get to like 2k and 3k numbers, but I'm not sure how much of that was buff and how much of that was base. I guess we'll see how hard Durthu hits at level 50, and then at some point, someday, some way, I'll compare him to Kolek in direct damage. Anyway, it looks like the enemy is going to now allow us to break through that barrier, which we're just going to get to because the vampire is essentially using it to take longer to die, which is fairly smart, even if I don't think the AI is doing it on purpose. Just gonna speed this up while our forces break through that annoying barrier, and there we go. Now that thing's down, surround and kill the vampire, who's still doing an impressive job holding on, but it might be also because if hit by a Treekin, or rather hit by a Tree Man, I think, the vampire gets knocked down, which means there's an invincible few seconds that we can't continue. And that's okay though, we could just leave a few units behind to deal with the vampire as the rest of our Tree Men and Treekin continue moving upwards to fight some more Graveguard. And the enemy's brought its Corpse Guard here as well. Just like it already sacrificed its Mortis Engine, and we may as well take out that Corpse Guard so it provides no more Vigor Mortis to the rest of the enemies. Of course, they've already sacrificed their elite-most units, the Vargulf, the Terrorgeist, and the two Blood Knights, as well as I think all the Crypt Horrors have all fallen. They only have the Mourngulls and the one unit of Black Knights left, plus Kemmler, I guess. But he appears to be too scared to actually get into combat. I guess the AI does treat Kemmler as a caster lord and likes to stand back and cast things rather than fight, which does make sense. That's why Kemmler has Krell to do the fighting for him. It just didn't seem to work out so Krell this time. Ah, you gotta love those animations from those malevolent trees. We could obviously do this in more armies, but it's a little obnoxious. And the thing is, Durthu gets them for so cheap that I couldn't not do that in his army. But we'll limit it in our other armies, especially since we're once again trying to go for a little bit more variety. Especially now that we've expanded fairly far and are getting a bunch of new and different types of units. One of our Malevolent Treemen appears to have peeled away from the rest of the formation here. It will then be a little bit more vulnerable, but I don't imagine a single unit of a Graveguard without great weapons at that is going to be all that much of a threat. I do like the look of the towers and the explosive bolts that they have as they hit the treemen. Though some nice animations. And the Black Knights have moved in. They probably saw their Blood Knights fight, so I don't know why they bother even trying this. They should know that this is not going to be very effective, or at least Kemmler should know. Well, actually, these guys are whites. They should be capable of strategizing to some degree as well, so they should know as well. Alrighty, and they're going to run away, though they're going to lose a few more models as they try to turn, and it looks like they actually start disintegrating as well. That's a nice shield. There we go, absolutely reckon. Durthu's also now moving in to help the isolated tree man over here, who has taken... he's taken a sliver of damage here. We've lost, what, maybe 15% of his HP? I'm sure we'll get it back, though, with some Earthbloods. And more enemies streaming in as well. The bounce power, however, is about 80% in our favor now, and we are even going to move in the rest of our hurt forces just to continue or to complete this cleanup. Durthu is also going to pop that upgraded Flock of Doom as well as the Sword of Death to increase the damage, and the AoE here should be pretty intense. We're going to pop double Awakening of the Woods from both of our branch wraiths. Double, thank you. And this mob of units should be just about done. Alrighty, and let's see, we're still at about 85, maybe 85% in our favor, but all of those units are now melting away at the same time. Actually, out of curiosity, Durthu, how much damage have you done this damage? 177 kills and nearly 50k, and very respectable. That combo of Flock of Doom upgraded and Sword of Death and does do quite a decent amount of damage. I'm still a little bit disappointed about Lamentation of Despairs and its relative ineffectiveness, but, you know, on occasion. When you can actually get Durthu to cast it and it doesn't miss horribly, it can do very decent amounts of damage. Anyway, the rest of the army will continue clearing out those enemies that choose to fight, but Durthu is going to go out alone and try to fight Kemmler. Kemmler, however, is so scared of actually fighting that he is going to crumble and the rest of the entire army will shatter. We do have a few seconds at least though, so maybe Durthu can get a few hits in there. There we go. Army is shattered, just a matter of a few seconds now. Especially with Durthu hitting him, Kemmler is going to crumble away way faster, and there we are. For some reason, the game says this is a close victory. Probably we expended a decent amount of mana using Earthblood and healing everybody, but we took, I think, no damage, or if we did, it probably would have been one of the treekin that died. Let's actually see if we lost any treekin. I actually think we might have healed up more than we had started with. I don't remember what the original HP on the treeman was. Man, I absolutely loved how Kemmler just straight up broke and his army shattered rather than even face Durthu. Ugh. Ouch. Ouch, buddy. We can raise it for 30k, which is almost 2 turns, which is pretty nice. So we're gonna raise the place, and we'll suffer a little bit of attrition for our trouble. Wait, no we won't. Durthu's immune. Well, I guess we're immune in general. I just keep forgetting. That's great. An Elder Scout for Deluric that doesn't actually do anything for him, unfortunately, because these have to go on to onto a Lord's. Also, we could get a couple of Book of Ashurs in this army, although I suppose if we replace Deluric, and then we won't need to. As in, not on that particular unit, so I do like to remind myself. Anyway, we'll take Lyonesse with Durthu, or we'll colonize it next turn. Could have actually maybe kept Akka here to move to Lyonesse. It looks like Castle Artois will actually fall to Lewin, though, so maybe Durthu can use this to heal up. We'll have to decide whether we send him to Reichland or whether we send him northward. He could always go and kill Be'lakor and then take all of these territories, though the problem with these places is the fact that these guys could always sail down. It actually makes me think that even though there are ports at Lyonesse and Mousillon, we might actually be better off trading them away to Lewin, and just because he can guard these northern places a lot better than we can, even if they are money. We're getting money out of Bordelot and Aquitaine. Not a lot of money, mind you, 206, though that is without the Mathland Lord of Deeps, and one of the reasons we potentially wanted this province, but nonetheless. We don't need to get greedy. We're gonna take all of the, all the big trees and then only a few non-tree places. Anyway, what do we have here? Forest lookouts we can, I think, continue keeping for now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'll give us better war dancers with Azrae spears if we upgrade it, but frankly, we're gonna replace it with another building. But we'll do that once this territory is completely safe and not likely to get attacked yet again. Haunted Forest, we're saving your points because we need to upgrade your, ritual building. I forgot what it was called. Torgavon, we will save points because we need to upgrade the winery and the artisan's nexus, get all that little bit of extra growth. And Gisero Gap we can't do anything with, so I believe that's it. Alrighty, well, unfortunately I think we're out of time, and this is probably a pretty good place to end it in the same way that we ended Kemmler. We won't have the pleasure of taking Castle Artois by the looks of it, but that's okay. We essentially ended the faction, not Lewin. Anyway, next time, Drycha continues advancing through the territories of the Nagaron Dark Elves, though if our elven friends here fail to take the ancient city of Quintex, perhaps we will go down here ourselves and take it for them.
This will fail.
Hmm.
No.
I actually thought that these guys had more armies here, but it looks like they no longer do. Hopefully they're not trying to move away because we forced them to declare a bunch of wars, but, well, that's just the risk you run when you Insidious Glamour somebody. Otherwise, we will try to move towards the Forest of Gloom here, but Karazakarak is definitely on the chopping block / the menu. Maybe we shouldn't say chopping block, as the trees might not appreciate that so much. Yeah, we'll try to hit Karazakarak next episode, try to hit Drycha's next target, maybe kill some more orcs with the Dalseth here towards Karak Valag, though it does look like Jiao Ming will be taking it for himself, and I'm perfectly happy to let him do so as well. Might as well allow him to get stronger here. Anyway, stay tuned for more Drycha, don't forget to leave a like and comment, all glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.